So, I've been playing Monster Hunter Wilds for quite some time now, and I'm honestly having so much fun with it. I'm currently doing a second playthrough of the game with my nearly 100 hunter being, level 100 hunter, I guess hunter rank, being used for current events like the Arch-Tempered Raydao. Go see that successful run here. Off rip though, what got me to play this game? The fashion. It's no secret that For Honor players like fashion. It's one of the end goals. Seeing what other what other hunters come up with is insane. Someone even made Jinx from the Arcane series, and it looks incredible. I also follow a couple of people on TikTok with beautiful fashion. It's the first thing I saw, and I love it. Okay, but getting into the game proper is something else. I won't go into the overall plot of the game, but it is a bit of time before finally getting to make your hunter. I will say the customization is wild. The overall build of the hunter is lacking in that department with only 2 sliders versus a game like ASA that allows you to control muscle groups and things like that. Where ASA fails in its customization though is everything else you can do. Both games allow you to play with facial structure, but Wilds takes it a step further with hair, eyebrows, eyes, lashes, and more. It's madness how much detail you can get into with so very little. It works for this game and it really allows you to make this hunter your own. Even the Palico, the cat-like companion, gets a lot of detail in the customization department. Is it needed? Not at all. Appreciated? Oh, 100%. One more thing before we get into the gameplay. This game is made much easier for those that haven't played a Monster Hunter game before. Previously, you'd have to track down the creature with claw marks, fur, things like that. This element does exist in the game, however it is few and far between. What's great is that there's ability to track down the target and the mount used, the Sacred, can also automatically take you to the hunt, or you control the creature yourself and do it. Even veteran players can use this time to craft potions or items needed for the hunt to either progress or end even faster. Being able to track down the monster on hunts or even just seeing the creatures on the map, just walking around, is insane, and I personally find that very helpful. Now let's talk about the weapons for the moment. The game doesn't force you to use the greatsword and that's it until the tutorial is over. You are allowed to immediately select your own weapon, and my personal favorite being dual swords. I like the fast attacks and the maneuver you can pull off, but also the Attack on Titan-esque focus strike is actually satisfying, especially on Jindahad. I've also liked being able to wield 2 weapons, so it's right up my alley. Another weapon I very much enjoy is the Insect Clave. I don't fully understand the Kinsects just yet, but I'm getting closer to understanding how it works, and figuring out new functions is always nice. While I haven't tried the other weapons, I always go back to those 2. They are the ones I'm the most comfortable with, and will continue to use them regardless of the monster I'm fighting. Though, I will be honest, the Bonk Bonk Hammer is quite nice too. I mean, look at this poor fire chicken getting absolutely wrecked by myself and Olivia. Oh my goodness.
Now's our chance! Opportunity strikes.
Speaking of the monsters, let's talk about them, since we're getting into gameplay now anyway. The tier list of monster is actually quite expansive. The early game ones are very clear, and the bigger the monster, the more difficult they are. Zoshia, Arkveld, and Gore Magala being the 3 I have the most trouble with. The first one, especially. Y'all don't want to know how many times I tried that fight. Well, the second time anyway. You don't want to know. It was like 12. It was ridiculous. I can very much... Okay, well, with the exception of the 2 squid boys, Zhuwu and, I forget the other one's name, but it'll be on screen for you right now. But, I can very much deal with the early game creatures solo. In fact, I can kill the fire chicken with my, Hunter Rank 100 character in, like, less than 2 minutes. I mean, I did that earlier today, I was recording footage, so you can see that on screen right now for you. Boom. It's insane. But I know for a fact though, I will need help with mid-tier to late game creatures. I immediately call for aid on being, I want to actually succeed. Thank you very much. Okay, but the stone frog, the pre-mentioned, the aforementioned rather, fire chicken, Brina, Nursilla, Deshagama, and they're all a cakewalk for me now. I won't lie, they took me a while to master. But if you look back at the previous gameplay footage that I've put out already, you'll notice that I keep my distance at first to see what the creature can do and what attacks I can dodge and what attacks I need to just GTFO or get the heck out. Like, no. Firing my slinger to gauge how hard this will be. At this point, the flare is fired and I go into the fight. Rathian and Rathlos, speaking of, title creatures, being in this game is also a big treat. Fighting them is also very fun. A little difficult even now, but still a lot of fun. These monsters are terrifying in some cases, but the fights themselves are fun and engaging, especially jumping on the back of a creature and all the different ways they try to shake you off. Arc Veiled and Ray Dao being the most visually interesting. But okay, this squid boy trying to stab you is admittedly pretty cool too. The monsters are the make or break of this game, and they are the best part. Well, one of the best parts. If I could get into the negatives, it would be only this. The RNG for getting parts needed for armor and weapons is at points completely ridiculous or just outright unfair. I can't tell you how many times I hunted the Deshagama and didn't get the parts from it that I needed, only to learn that I needed to hunt the alpha that barely ever spawns, and that's how I got the parts. Though again, it could just be the RNG being crazy. The Guardian one is also somehow easier to hunt than the normal one? Question mark? But also, this was the experience I had fighting the Guardian, so okay, but that was both funny and sad at the exact same time. Bro just wanted to make itself scarce and got shot down every time. Like, my goodness. That was the most I laughed at a hunt. Regardless, though, I can just chalk it up to being part of the game that I don't fully understand yet. If anyone knows about that, let me know in the comment section below. But, in fact, I wanted to talk about the Guardians for just 1 second. The Guardian variant creature. They are all very fun battles, and just to add to the overall hunting experience. Being a step or two above the normal ones, the Deshagama being the example here, the visual differences of being white or silver versus the normal creature is also a very nice change as well. The explosive attacks were easy to avoid once you've mastered the timing, but it also goes into me keeping my distance until I figured it out, like I said above. These creatures are really cool and fun to battle overall. I would just like to see, well, more of them. A Guardian Ray Dao would be very cool actually, but how about a Guardian variant of those early game creatures? Now I know that wouldn't happen, but it would mix up the creatures, I think, in a very fun way. I know the Windward Plains are meant to be the quote-unquote easy area, but Arc Veiled shows up there every now and then, plus the duo, so that's out the window. Either way, this game is really fun, and I will be completely honest, Monster Hunter Wilds took the top spot away from ASA as my favorite game to play, and even above For Honor, which I straight up deleted off my PS5. Yes, you heard that correctly. I do 1,000,000% recommend this game to to anyone that is looking to play it. Someone in my comment section actually got this game because of my gameplay, despite the lack of commentary in the videos themselves. Thank you for that, by the way. Also, I don't talk on the hunts because this game does take about 90% of my focus. I will speak at the end, thanking the players for the help, but that's about it. Like in the Zoshia video right here. I've been trying to kill this dang thing for like 4 days. Thanks, guys. Oh my god. Thank you. Goodness. That was such a pain in the neck. Thank you. I guess one other thing I would like to do off rip is coloring the armor. I believe it's not until after being able to craft rarity 5 armor onwards, but it's also just something that the game itself wants to work up towards, and that does make sense despite my grievances about it. This as a whole can also just go into the same earlier category as, say, parts and weapons. Still, really cool though. Oh, and you know what? And the music itself also is really, really good. I don't need to add any tracks or anything because the in-game music is actually perfect for each hunt that it's a part of. I don't have any particular favorites, as I find them all just as engaging as the fights they are attached to. It's window dressing to the events as most music is. Can you really say that Iron Man's entrance to the fight in Avengers with Shoot to Thrill playing didn't add at all to his arrival? Exactly. It's fantastic all around. 10 out of 10 music. Any wish lists? No, not really. Only what I've said before, but again, I chalk that up to me not understanding the game fully. I guess if you had more character creator slots aside from 3, 1 more ought to do it, honestly. Nice even number. I suppose more Guardian variants, like I said above, would be cool too. But anyways, that's it. I enjoyed the heck out of this game, and if you haven't played it for yourself, do it. It's absolutely worth the effort and money. Just make sure your connections are really good. I had trouble with that one for a little while, but it's all good now, but still. Happy hunting, everyone, and don't worry, I'll see you all tomorrow.